Here's how much I spent on my 3 weeks trip to London as an LSE summer school student. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Ananya. If you're new here, please subscribe. So this video is a part 2 of the previous video in which I shared all the details about how you can apply to LSE summer school and also the visa procedure. It is definitely a very helpful video, so go watch part 1 before you watch this part 2. And now finally, let's talk about how much I spent in London in 3 weeks as a student, and let me give you a breakdown of the expenses. So सबसे पहले बात करते हैं flight expenses की. Depending on when you apply for your summer school, when you book your flight tickets, the prices will vary. अब obviously मैंने थोड़ा end moment पे किया था, so I think my flights were somewhere between 50 to 80,000 one way. So yes, it is very expensive. But तुम जितना जल्दी अपना flight book करोगे उतना better होगा. So you'll get it at much cheaper prices. Second is your LSE summer school tuition fee. So LSE के दो rates होते हैं. एक होता है student rate, that is for people like us who are already enrolled in a university. Like I am at SRCC right now. तो अगर तुम एक student हो already, then the prices are comparatively less. So for one session you have to pay 2750 pounds. That is approximately 3 lakh Indian rupees. But again, a lot of people actually do end up going for multiple sessions, like 2 or 3 sessions. Then you get certain discounts, like 2 sessions is for 4650 pounds and then 3 sessions are for 5400 pounds. So almost like 5 lakh to 6 lakh rupees for 2-3 sessions. So वैसे I personally think that 3 weeks is a good enough time to experience, you know, the culture of living abroad, studying abroad, being an international student. But a lot of people do end up going for multiple sessions because they do get credit exchange from their home university. Colleges like Delhi University do not give a credit exchange program. But then I've heard colleges like Ashoka University or NMIMS of Mumbai, they have an exchange program. So I did meet a lot of people from those colleges in LSE, which means you have to study lesser subjects or lesser classes at your home university. So you can actually consult your college and ask them if they're giving such options to you. Now obviously tuition fee is what takes up most of your expense, but the next thing is accommodation. Now again, as I gave, there are so many options for accommodations, but an accommodation for about 21 days, that is 3 weeks, can easily cost you anywhere between 1 lakh to 2 lakh depending on where you stay. So if you're staying in central London, obviously the prices are going to be higher. If you're staying somewhere far away like I did, the prices will be a little lower. But that being said, London in general is super expensive, so the prices are going to be accordingly. Now even the LSE accommodations are not like super inexpensive. They can cost you easily around 1.5 lakh Indian rupees or anywhere between 1000 to 1500 pounds depending on which one you take. And I mean, there are some which are also over 2000 pounds. So it again really depends on when you book it also, because the accommodations get booked really fast. So you have to make sure that you get your hands on the best one possible. Again, with Airbnbs, it is quite the similar range, I'd say, that is 1000 to 1500 pounds, because I think the per night price is like 10 to 20,000 on an average, again depending on the location. So you need to research all your options very well. Next, let's talk about traveling within London itself. Now again, London is expensive, so is their public transport. Although the public transport is super efficient, but your one-way tube ride is almost 3 pounds or 4 pounds depending on the timings, because they also have peak hours, so that's 300 to 400 rupees. Your bus ride is almost 2 pounds, so that's 200 rupees one way. So depending on again where you stay, how much you explore London, you will spend money on this accordingly. So here is the trade-off between your accommodation and travel. So if you book your accommodation a little further away, you'll have to spend a little more on traveling. And if you book an accommodation in central London, let's say, so the accommodation price is going to be higher, but you'll save up quite a bit of money on your traveling. So for me, I was staying a little far away. It was a 40-minute tube ride for me, so of course I had to bear that traveling cost. But I had taken this unlimited travel card, which is like 50 pounds for 1 week, so 5,000 rupees, and it gives me unlimited access in 3 zones, zone 1, 2 and 3. I can use the tube and bus how many ever times I want to, and I can go wherever in these 3 zones. So it worked out for me because I did quite a bit of touristy things in London, and plus I went to LSE back and forth. So of course a lot of money was saved there. So since I went for almost 3 weeks, my traveling cost was somewhere between 15 to 20,000. But of course, if you don't take the travel card, you walk to most of the places and you use the tube and bus very rarely, then you can save a lot of cost here as well. And now the next thing is food. This is also one thing that you can easily save a lot of money on, especially हम लोग तो इंडिया से आते हैं, ready to eat food लेके जा सकते हैं and we'll be sorted for 3 weeks. So for breakfast usually I got things from the grocery store itself, so like maybe bread, croissant, etc. anywhere between 1 to 2 pounds, so that's not a lot of money. And then for dinner I usually came back home, so I made my ready to eat food. Now the main place where you spend money is going to be during the day when you're out and about exploring. In London a meal can cost you anywhere between 10 to 20 pounds easily. If you go to a proper restaurant, one dish is going to be at least 12 to 15 pounds. That's like 1500 rupees, and it is quite expensive if you do it on a day-to-day basis. But then again, you can look for alternative options. You can go to fast food restaurants like McDonald's, Burger King. They have a very famous chain that is literally there in every single lane called Pret, so you can take their wraps, etc. from there. Being vegetarian is a little difficult. You have lesser options, but for non-vegetarians you can get meals at low prices. The next expense you might have is doing all the touristy things. So thankfully in London most of the touristy things are free, like the British Museum, etc. have free entry, so you can explore most of the places just by walking and visiting it for free. But if you choose to go to maybe the London Eye, the upper deck of the Tower Bridge or certain things like that, then you have to pay the ticket, so that again depends on the price of the ticket. You can just figure that out. You do have a lot of things that you can do for free. And lastly, this is again a miscellaneous, and that is shopping. Depending on the brands you shop, how much you shop, you spend money. So if you shop like all those luxury brands like maybe Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, etc., they're going to be super expensive and your budget is going to increase accordingly. But apart from that, London is a shopper's paradise. You can literally find so many brands, so much variety, and the good thing is that during the summer months they have major sales going on, so you do get a lot of things at discounted prices, and you can find things that are quite affordable, even high-end products that are affordable. So again, it depends on how much you shop, you will spend money according to that. So I think overall, if you go as a summer school student to London, you will end up spending anywhere between 5 to 10 lakhs. It totally depends on your style of living, how much you spend on food, how much you shop, how much you go outside of London. Like we went to Scotland, so that's an additional expense you'll have. But if you just roam around London, and London has a lot of stuff to do by the way, you can spend anywhere between 5 to 7 lakhs at least. I think 5 lakh is the bare minimum because your tuition fee, flight expenses and accommodation will easily add up to 5 to 6 lakhs. And then depending on your other expenses, your budget will keep increasing. Now, a lot of people were also asking if LSE Summer School has any scholarships, and yes, I just checked their website and they do. But they are the kind of scholarships that I don't think any of us will be able to get, because we have to do something really exceptional in these 3 fields and you have to do it on a very grand scale. So it's not very easy to get the scholarship, but yeah, it is an option. Okay, overall, my final verdict for LSE Summer School: London is a beautiful city to visit. I mean, it was the best experience I've had, and it was just a dream come true for me, literally. Of course, when you go as a student there are certain hiccups and hesitations. There are a lot of cultural differences you get to face over there, but I think you just adapt to it. It's not that difficult to be there. But that being said, the culture is very different. All of that is for another video though. Now, when it comes to was it worth it, is it worth spending that kind of money? Of course, it is totally a very subjective decision. For me, I think it was, because if you want that international experience, if you don't know you will be able to get that international experience later for post-graduation, etc., if you're not sure, then spending this much money is a good way to know if you want to study abroad, because post-graduation is like 1 crore Indian rupees easily, and that is a hefty amount. And if you're not sure about it, I think this is a good way to understand the international culture, if you actually enjoy studying abroad, if London is a place you want to go to. So that way, I think it was the perfect international experience that I got. And I think everyone knows that London is expensive, so this is the minimum budget that you will require if you visit a place like London, and you have to be mentally prepared to have that kind of money. And I get it, not everybody can go there, and that's the reason I want to make such videos for you guys where I can share my experience. I want you guys to live the life of being a student in London through my vlogs. And reading all your comments, I did see that you guys were were getting the experience, and I'm so happy that I can do it for you guys. So yeah, that's that. But of course, apart from that, whatever useful resources I find, I'll put the links for everything in the description so that you can, research more about it and make an informed decision. And also start planning early if you want to go to London. Like me going to summer school was a very last minute decision, I'd say. But if I probably planned going to London earlier, I would have made better choices in terms of the accommodation I got. I would save a lot of money in my traveling, like flights, etc. I could also have gone for another course. Like I would have done something related to marketing maybe, but unfortunately the seats were filled by the time I applied. So that's also something you have to consider, that the seats do get filled up, the accommodations do get filled up. So it's better if you apply on early, and if you're sure you want to go, then you should just go for it. And last but not the least, as I told you guys, I'll be making a separate video talking about my experience at the London School of Economics, living in London, being a summer school student, and everything in between. It's going to be like a Q&A sort of video. So I want you guys to leave all your questions that you have in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer each one of them for you guys. And yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope this video was super insightful for you guys. And if you've made it till here, comment these emojis, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, then don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends, follow me on Instagram, and until next time, bye.